According to Forbes, when they last published their list of the world's richest people, Elon Musk topped the chart with an estimate fortune of around $246 billion. That's an amount that's difficult to grasp. So let me give you some perspective. Elon Musk's personal wealth is greater than the GDP of 75% of the world's countries. That's one man's controlling wealth equivalent to that of a major nation. It's an amount of money so vast that no one could realistically spend it all in a lifetime, no matter how lavish their lifestyle might be. But here's something even more intriguing. While Elon Musk may be the wealthiest person of our time, he's not the richest person in history. In fact, if you adjust for inflation, he's not even close. The title of the wealthiest person ever goes to someone who had a fortune more than double that of Musk. And here's the surprising part. Despite his staggering wealth, you might not have heard of him. Allow me to introduce you to Mansa Musa, the richest man in history. There are two main reasons you may not be familiar with him. First, he lived nearly 715 years ago. And second, he was the Sultan of Mali Empire. Many people in Europe and the US regions, where African histories isn't always emphasizing in schools, may not have encountered much about him. But that's a shame, because the Mali Empire, which was the largest in Western Africa, was truly remarkable. At its height in the 14th century, it stretched across nearly 500,000 square miles and was home to about 5% of the world's population. The empire's rise during Africa's golden age of trade was fueled by its enormous wealth, which came primarily from two resources, gold and salt, both of which Mali had in abundance. At the time, nearly half of all the gold in the Old World, Europe, Africa, and Asia came from just 3 gold mines located in Mali. It's easy to see how gold could make someone incredibly wealthy. But what about salt? In the 14th century, salt was a highly valuable commodity in many parts of Africa. So valuable, in fact, that it was often traded at the same wealth as gold. While that may sound odd today, it made sense back then. Salt is essential for human survival, enhances the flavor of food, and preserves it. Critical in a world without refrigeration. In areas where salt was scarce, it was a fortune. Gold, on the other hand, was shiny and precious, had fewer practical uses. Mansa Musa was born around 1218 AD and became the 10th ruler of the Mali Empire in 1312 AD. His path to power was somewhat unconventional. He was initially meant to serve as a temporary ruler by his predecessors, Abu Bakr Keita II, embarked on an expedition to explore the Atlantic Ocean. Keita sailed off with a fleet of 3,000 ships, leaving behind his throne and one of the greatest fortunes in history, despite having little evidence of what lay beyond the ocean. As far as we know, neither Abu Bakr nor his fleet ever returned, though some historians speculate he may have reached South America, but that's a story for another day. With Keita gone, Mansa Musa officially ascended the throne, expanded the empire's borders, and increased its already vast wealth. By the way, Mansa isn't his first name, it's a title, which means emperor or sultan. So, just how rich was Mansa Musa? Before we get into numbers, here's an example. As a devout Muslim, one of Mansa Musa's religious duties was to complete the Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca. When he made his pilgrimage, it became one of the most extraordinary journeys ever undertaken. And by a journey, I mean a massive caravan of 16,000 people, 100 elephants, 18 camels, and a personal guard of 500 elite warriors, and enough supplies to support the entire group. It was essentially a mobile city, stretching further than the eye could see. Think of Aladdin's Grand Parade, but on a scale beyond anything you could imagine, and with no need for a genie. Like any traveler, Mansa Musa brought some spending money with him. In his case, it was 21,000 kilograms of solid gold. How did he transport all that wealth? His 12,000 slaves, each carrying about 2 kilos of gold. He also brought thousands of kilograms of gold dust, which was used as currency in his kingdom. Now, here's the really astonishing part. Mansa Musa didn't bring all the gold just for himself. He intended to give it away. It's said that he handed out so much gold to the poor along his journey to Mecca that he single-handedly caused a massive drop in the price of gold throughout North Africa and Arabian Peninsula, triggering a decade-long economic downturn in cities like Cairo, Medina, and Mecca. He was like the Mr. Beast of his time, giving away unimaginable amounts of wealth. But Musa's generosity wasn't limited to material wealth. He was also deeply committed to spreading his faith. During his pilgrimage, he commissioned a mosque to be built every Friday, no matter where he happened to be. Considering that the journey took nearly 2 years, that's a lot of mosques. Of course, some historians argue that Musa's pilgrimage wasn't just an act of religious devotion. It may have also been a demonstration of power, a way to showcase Mali's empire's vast wealth and influence. If that part of his plan, it certainly worked. Mansa Musa and his empire gained global recognition, and he appeared on world maps, including the famous Catalan Atlas, which depicted him holding a gold coin, a symbol of his immense power and wealth. His pilgrimage also attracted scholars and artists, many of whom Musa invited back to Mali with him. Upon returning home, Mansa Musa turned his attention to improving his empire, building mosques and madrasas, centers of learning, throughout his realm. One city in particular became the focus of his efforts, Timbuktu. Today, Timbuktu is often thought of as a distant, almost mythical place. But during Mansa Musa's reign, it was one of the most important centers of trade, culture, and education in the world. The Jingurbir Mosque, which Mansa Musa founded with 200 kilograms of gold, still stands today as part of Timbuktu University. At its height, the university had 25,000 students and a library containing 1 million books, more than the famous library of Alexandria ever held. As for Musa's wealth, it's difficult to estimate in today's terms, but the most widely cited figure is around $400 billion, about the same as the GDP of Norway or Ireland. However, the exact amount isn't really what matters. His wealth was particularly limitless, and what's most important is how he used it to benefit others.